How can you stay mentally strong while you're on chemo? Are there things you shouldn't do? Are there ways you can amuse yourself? What? Come with me through the curtain of blurred colons and find out what's going on in my cancer story. Welcome to the Tumor-tastic Video Diary number 29. Hi, Skatz here. They know who you are. It's Friday, July the 5th, and this is Video Diary number 29. I've been thinking about amusing myself. Ooh, you naughty people, that's not what I meant at all. Or is it? No, wash your mind out with soap this minute. I'm trying to help you. That's not what you're doing to me. I'm talking about how to stay strong and optimistic, how to keep yourself occupied and happy while you're feeling achy and tired and nauseous and the days seem to be stretching out forever, and how to avoid talking to your Freddy the Bastard tumour. But I'm lonely. First of all, let's get the negatives out of the way and find out what our limitations are. Well, my limitations. I can only really speak for me and my particular type of cancer, but I hope that we, the brotherhood and sisterhood of chemo, can relate to what I'm talking about. You're not the bloody messiah. So, what can't I do? Lick your own balls? Well, for a start, there's spending more than a very short time in the sun, because I'm more prone to sunburn, so no decent walks or sunbathing or even just sitting about when it's sunny. Which for me, living in a very hot sunny place, means I'm mostly stuck indoors. Boo! I've been stuck indoors for 10 years, mate. I also shouldn't really go to places where there are lots of people who might be carrying something infectious. And I don't mean some kind of biological warfare monkey. Oh no. It's just that you never really know whether a nearby sneeze or a cough could be the start of something nasty that you can't fight off. Who's to know whether someone's a carrier but they've not got any symptoms at all, or the symptoms aren't visible or audible, and has anyone at the party sneezed quietly on their hand and been touching everything on sight without thinking? I want one of those biological warfare monkeys. So that means potentially feeling nervous about parties and meals out and museums, art galleries, theatre, gigs, even popping to the supermarket when it's busy. And how do you know it's going to be busy? You don't! It's a lottery! You might die! Then there's the tiredness that makes doing anything too physically active impossible, or anything really that takes a long time or a lot of brain power and concentration. Even driving a car for more than 15 minutes is difficult. It's impossible in the first few days after the intravenous chemo. You think you've got problems? Okay, those are the limitations I can think of, so let's cheer up a bit and find out what I actually can do and probably should do. Stop the bloody chemo. It hurts. Well, things that don't take too long for a start. And I know what you're thinking, you naughty people. Oh, it's like a bloody carry-on film. One thing you could do is write a diary. You could even turn it into a video diary. Or a book. Or both. As if anyone would bother to do that. But if you do, then do it in little sections, or you might start to imagine that your tumour has a name and he's talking to you. Oi! In which case, whatever you do, don't listen to your Freddy. Pretend you can't hear him. Do not engage. He's a psychopath. Stop saying nasty things about me, or I'll get my mother to stab you in the shower. What's much more fun and positive is celebrating being alive and being where you are. You could do it in writing or on video or through artwork or music, whatever creative thing floats your boat. Hell, even if you don't see yourself as creative, throw some paint around and see what happens. It can be very therapeutic. It doesn't have to look like anything. One of my friends has a brother who paints the colours that he hears. That sounds impossible. But bollocks to impossible. You've got a tumour. Give it a try before you die. You won't get another chance. Oi, impossible bollocks. No! And what about making plans for the future? Pick some places you want to go, things you can look forward to. Call it a bucket list if you want, but that sounds like too much like you're planning on dying. Don't do that. Just make some plans and think how much fun it will be. My son is graduating from university at the moment. He's becoming a nurse, and there's going to be a ceremony over in Ireland where he's been studying and working. They've not announced the date yet, but it looks like it'll be not long after I've had my operation, so I might not be able to travel. However, I'm looking forward to it and planning to be there. Whether I make it or not, that's irrelevant up here. right now. Do you get me? What? What else can you do? You could start making sense. Well, you could go for a massage. And I was told that having a bath in Epsom salts is wonderful for easing the aches and pains of chemo. One of my cancer buddies said it made a miraculous difference to her. Thanks, Lulu. So, I've just bought a large bag of that and I'm going to try it out this weekend in advance of the next treatment. Maybe just before or after the England match, when I'm most tense. Oh, we're back to the bloody football again. Speaking of which, watching some sporting events and admiring the skills of the athletes seems to be working for me, even though I'm not much of a sports person. It's inspiring to witness the effort, the guts, the determination. It makes me feel that I can beat anything too. Oh, no, you can't. And I am your bloody guts. With the Euros, I've been inspired mostly by Spain, but teams like Georgia and Turkey have showed what difference it makes to have gumption. I love that word, gumption. Have you seen the movie The Holiday? Watch it. There's no football in it, but there is gumption. Everyone should have gumption. It's even better than porridge. Je suis porridge. I'm also watching the tennis, of course. Well, nothing beats Wimbledon, and I've already banged on about this being the changing of the guard. The top 3 dominant players of the past 20 years are either retiring or being swept aside by the youngsters, and one in particular is described by none other than John McEnroe as having more of the playing skills and tools than the old top 3 put together. What a joy to be alive in the era of Carlos Alcaraz and living in his country too. How can you not be happy about that? He's already won 3 Grand Slams on 3 very different playing surfaces. Nobody does that. Who do you think you are, Claire bloody Balding? I'm just wondering about what to do when the Euros and Wimbledon are over. The finals are on the same day. So what next? Oh yeah, the Paris Olympics. I saw the advert for that yesterday for the first time, and the slogan is something like, "Welcome to the City of Love." Oh yes, I'm watching that. Ponce! Hey, another idea. How about looking through some old photograph albums and remembering those little details that you'd forgotten? When we got an Amazon Fire Stick recently, I logged into it, and now for some reason that I can't fully understand, it's picked up one of my old photo libraries that's stored somewhere. Maybe Google Drive or something, and whenever the TV goes into screensaver mode it keeps bringing these pictures up along with the dates they were taken. It's like having a time machine. Liz and I have had great fun working out where we were and regaling each other with remembered stories. And if you make it fun, then it's fun. If you make it fun, it's fun. Bloody hippie. Yes, fun is good. And I've found that making sure I do something fun in the rest period between treatments, that's where I am now, that gives me something to look forward to. It's a goal, and goals are good. Somebody tell England that. It doesn't have to be something huge, just something achievable, like a walk in the country or along the beach. Exercise when you can. Just enough. It's amazing what looking at the sun sparkling on the sea can do for you. Oh, a little bit of sick just came up. And if you just can't get about, then there's always watching some positive, happy movies or finding some funny social media. Just don't let it wander into the dark side. Oh, look at the dark web. Look at the dark web. Now, I've already mentioned Terry Pratchett on the last diary entry, I think it was, but I need to mention him again because reading might be the last idea on today's list of things to do to amuse and delight yourself, but it's definitely not the thing you should leave till last. Some books can transport you into other worlds where you haven't got cancer. Terry Pratchett does that. But he's also a genius at examining the human condition and making you look at your own world with different eyes. I'm sure he's not the only author you can choose, but he's the one I recommend today. The character of death in his Discworld novels somehow makes the idea of dying less worrisome, though not necessarily recommended in the near future. It's what's going to happen to me in the near future that's worrisome. And on that note, that's all for this week. Next week I'll have started cycle number 3 of 5. And 3 out of 5 means you've won, doesn't it?
No.
Thank you so much for continuing to follow my story and sending messages of support. Tune in next Friday for another thrilling episode of Frick Off, Freddy.
Toe rag.
Keep your fingers and your toes crossed, you lovely people, and as always, raise your drinking receptacle with me.
I'm still alive.
And of course, let's do the cancer dance.